For the majority of us, our fantasy drafts are already behind us, but our job's not done. Today, I'm going to give you 5 players that could be league-winning players, just like Kyren Williams and Puka Nacua were just this time last season. If you enjoy, drop a like and subscribe to the channel. Let's get into it. Starting off here with the running backs. Now, I'm not going to promise that these guys will turn into league-winning players like Puka and Kyren, but if there's 5 players as of this moment, these guys have the best 5. I think these guys have the best chance to do it. And starting here with Ty Chandler. In Yahoo leagues, 36%. ESPN, he is over that 50% thresh mark, but I will say that it is week 1, so who knows? He might still be out there in your leagues. But this is a guy that from weeks 10 to 18, when he got a significant workload, some weeks was the starter in this Minnesota offense, he was giving you just about 11 to 12 fantasy points a game in half in full PPR formats. This is a guy that's going into this offense that is depleted, right? TJ Hawkinson is set to miss a couple weeks. Of course, Jordan Addison is dealing with an ankle injury. You know Justin Jefferson is going to be double or triple teamed a lot of the early part of this season. So with that in mind, Aaron Jones and Ty Chandler, with this talented offensive line, they're going to have to carry a lot of the workload. And I think Ty Chandler, in between the tackles, in the red zone, could sneakily get a lot of fantasy production. And as of right now, all reports say he's going to get a 50-50 workload with Aaron Jones. So if Aaron Jones, he's older, if anything happens to him, Ty Chandler, I think, is the #1 waiver wire pickup this week in fantasy football. But how about Rico Dowdle, a guy that has a chance to be a starter in one of the top 10 offenses in the NFL, and he's still on your waivers. 47% Yahoo leagues, 34% in ESPN leagues. I understand that the Dallas Cowboys just brought in Dalvin Cook, but I'm not worried about Dalvin Cook. Zeke and Dalvin are both pushing 30. That's really when they start to take a severe decline. But with that in mind, there's 2 older running backs in this offense. This is going to be a top 10 offense in the NFL, and I'm going to bank on the young guy to break out and have a better season than many are expecting. Again, it's a top 10 level offense. There's going to be tons of opportunity for Rico Dowdle. Maybe he can break out like a guy like Tony Pollard did just a few years ago. Some guys I want to say that necessarily don't pick up these guys to have the mindset of playing them. You want to pick up these next 3 guys just to stash them. See what you got. You know, if you drafted a Jonathan Brooks, if you drafted a Hollywood Brown or TJ Hawkinson, guys that are hurt and you can throw them on the IR, stash these guys. See if they can turn into something, right? They could be league-winning players. Starting with Jalen Wright, just about 21% in both of the big 2, Yahoo and ESPN. He's just a perfect fit for Miami. A guy that is a sub-4 440, right? So great speed, great agility, right? Acceleration. He's just an elusive running back that fits perfectly in this Miami offense. An offense, I may remind you, that produced 2 top 12 running backs last season. And both running backs missed some time. Guys like Mostert was a top 5 running back. Devon Achane was a top 12 running back. Again, both of those guys missed a fair share of time in their own right. So what I'm getting at here is Mostert's only a year older, right? Devon Achane, can he hold up with his frame? Something to look out for. But I think Jalen Wright's going to have opportunity this season. I think if one of those guys goes down, we see there's elite upside for 2 running backs in this offense. So Jalen Wright, why not? Grab him, stash him, and see if you can find something with them, especially if Mostert or Achane go down at some point in the season. Ben Sinnott, of course, gadget guy out of Kansas State, went over to the Commanders, and I've been raving about him all offseason. 10% in Yahoo leagues, 6% in ESPN leagues. It's just going to be a pass-happy offense under Cliff Kingsbury. In the preseason, when the starters were out there, we saw a lot of spread offenses, a lot of 5 wide, and let Jaden Daniels be the special talent that he is. And that includes pushing the ball down the field to some of these talented playmakers. Now, with Jahan Dotson out of the picture, Ben Sinnott's only competitions for the second most targets in his offense are a 35-year-old Zach Ertz, right? A Diami Brown, who hasn't really taken that step up yet, and an aging Austin Eckler. I'm going to take my chances with that and bet on the young and very talented Ben Sinnott. Again, late round pick, went to Washington. Love his upside. And they can use him in a variety of ways. He's kind of like an oldies version of a Brock Bowers. The other guy you can stash is Jatavion Sanders. He's only owned in 1% or less than that in Yahoo and ESPN leagues. This is a guy that is a day one starter and a day one safety blanket for a guy in Bryce Young. This should be a much improved offense. This is a quarterback in Bryce Young that looked bad last year, but he didn't have much help around him. Sanders comes in as a baby David Njoku, I like to call him, a guy that you just need to get him the ball in space and let him go to work. And I think Bryce Young, with Dave Canales now in his ear, he can improve a lot. And I think, just getting the ball to those playmakers in space could be a focal point of this offense. So much better offense. He's going to get the ball a lot, and he's a day one starter. The 5 guys for week 1 or week 0, really. Rico Dowdle, Ty Chandler, Jalen Wright at the running back positions, Ben Sinnott, and Jatavion Sanders at the tight end. If you enjoyed today's video, again, these are going to be every single week all season at Monday at noon. So if you enjoyed today's video, drop a like, subscribe to the channel. There's plenty more to come.